Thank you, everyone. Let me take you through the journey called CBEAUX. CBEAUX in French means it's beautiful, and we want to focus on the women and making them feel beautiful in our dresses. So Aziza and I, the co-founders, we have over 15 years of experience in the retail industry across e-commerce, brick and mortar, TV, in the Middle East, North America, and Europe. And we've worked in every single field of the retail industry. We've worked for brands such as Max Mara, Karl Lagerfeld, Michael Kors. So we've really had an in-depth experience of the industry. One thing that we have found is that in the Middle East, there's a very big lack of brands that are catered to the Middle Eastern customer. And hence we created CBEAUX. Our partners, Fabienne Claes and Christian Nicholas, have 5 other companies, as well as a huge experience in startups, and have helped us develop this brand. So is CBEAUX solving a problem? Well, we are a unique mono brand with high margins. We are catered for all women in the Middle East. We are a local brand. Our dresses are unique. They're an easy fit. They're high quality, and we have low return rates. We are very passionate about customer service. We want to make sure that every customer feels unique, from our packaging, from the way we deliver, our customer approach, which is very unique to the region. And we also make sure that the customer has a very easy, seamless shopping journey. We are a private label mono brand. We are for women by women because we understand the struggles women face. We are a one-piece online destination. What that means, it's dresses, abaya, jumpsuits, one piece. The woman just has to get a bag, a pair of shoes, and she walks out the door. We have exclusive designs that could only be found on our website. We are curated for the women in the Middle East. Now, it doesn't mean just the modest women or the women wearing the abayas, because abayas is a big category for us. We also do a lot of dresses for the Western expats. Our taste changes when we move to the Middle East. We want more glitter. We want more puffy sleeves. And this is something that we cater to. Our quality versus price is incomparable, hence why we have such low return rates. And we have a high margin of 72%. Now, you must be wondering why dresses and not all the other categories. Well, actually, dresses in the Middle East, uncomparable to any other region, is 80% of the garment industry for women. So women buy mostly dresses. It's an easy fit. The weather allows to be worn all year long. There's no stock fragmentation. The product diversity is very large. You have beach dresses, gowns, you have abayas, you have modest dresses. Really, everything is covered within dresses. Dresses cover women's problem areas. It's a low return because women know their dress size. It's appropriate for any kind of event, whether it's corporate, wedding events, anything, everything. For all of those, dresses are perfect. No styling required, easy to alter, ideal for modest wear and gowns, and women buy a lot of dresses. Now, what is our marketplace? We are catering to the UAE, KSA, and Kuwait, and we're going to be opening up this month to Qatar. Now, that marketplace is worth, in 4 years, it's going to be increasing by 182% to $2.51 billion. Most people think they're buying electronics, groceries, and all this stuff. Well, actually, 57% of purchases online are actually fashion and beauty. The highest margin that you could achieve is through homegrown brand, which is very scarce in the Middle East. And another problem that there is in the Middle East is that there's areas such as Saudi Arabia, very populated, high disposable income. They don't have accessibilities to malls. For them, an online platform that really caters to them is perfect. So what are some of our objectives? We want to obviously acquire market share. In 2024, out of the 1.57 billion, we want to acquire just 0.2%, which will generate us $3 million. What are some of our strengths? Well, not just our skills and our expertise, but also we have a 1.5 million database across UAE, KSA, and Kuwait. Our website is customized for a seamless journey. And one of our key features is the out of stock feature, which really helps us track our inventory. We know when we're running low on product. We also know how much the demand is there. So we know never to overbuy and be stock heavy, because a lot of businesses do suffer when they're stock heavy. We also focus on customer service with many channels of customer reach, and it's clearly proven to be effective because 29% of our customers return to buy again. So where do we stand amongst our competition? We are not a very cheap brand, but we're not very luxury. We're somewhere in the middle. We're a premium brand with very competitive pricing. So what are some of our advantages? We're a mono brand catered to the Middle Eastern women. We have high margins. We have no mandatory inventory dictated, like we don't have to buy something just because we have to. There's no need to enter price wars, meaning that you have the Namshis, you have the Noons, and you have all these websites, and they offer the exact same this product, and they're all competing for the same customer. So they obviously have to go on deep discounts in order to make it attractive for the customer. Our product is not found anywhere else. Therefore, we do not need to do discounts, and we could actually dictate our own pricing architecture and how much we see it fit for the region versus the quality. Other multi-brand platforms, they obviously have the recognizable name and more established, and so there's also a lot of brands that ship from the West to the Middle East. However, all of these collections are made for the Western customer, and they're not made for the Middle Eastern customer. So what are some of our milestones? Well, our average price point on the website is about $60. However, we're selling, our average sold price is $94, which means that the audience is really interested in our more pricey pieces, which are also our more unique pieces. And our average basket is $157, which is unheard of for a brand new startup brand. Our year-to-date sales have grown versus last year by 102%, and we have spent 69% less on marketing. We also have 29% repeat customers, and we have 284% ROI on marketing spent year-to-date. So what are some of our traction? We have jumpsuits and abayas, which is two huge categories which are untapped in the Middle East. We are trending over 80% sell-through in these two categories. Our ROI in just July on marketing is 413%. We have 215% increase in units sold year-to-date versus last year. Our abayas are all locally sourced fabric in the UAE. We have the tailors make them in the UAE, and we also make the designs in-house with unique fabrics that are not very traditional to abaya, which makes it very enticing for the customer. We also have strategic partnerships with Shadhoub Group and apparel group 6th Street. And we have only a 3% refund rate. So what are some of the business model that we have a big focus on is margins, because margins is something that really could kill a business or make a business strive very fast. We focus on increasing our margins as much as possible. We are now trending at 72%. We're looking at year 2 at 78% and year 3 at 81%. And the only way we can do that is through obviously growing in our volumes and growing in our business. So we want to optimize our inventory in order not to lose any sales whenever we do any marketing activities. And obviously we want to increase the volume we have on our pricier pieces. We want to focus our marketing budget of $56,000 to generate $211,000 per month. We are adding now Apple Pay, Tabby, and Mara, which will be finalized by the end of this month. And we also are looking to expand into Bahrain, Oman, USA, and Canada, but also maybe getting acquired by a large Middle Eastern retailer. So some of our forecasts. We're looking to finish in 2026 with a little bit over $6 million in revenue. And obviously we have an in-depth strategy, and mainly it's based on all the data figures that we're getting with our ROI on influencers and our ROI on Insta ads. So here's a little recap of CBEAUX. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I agree with you when it comes to dresses, how practical it can be. Yeah, and very interesting statistics on online buying, which mainly comprises of fashion and makeup. Actually, it's something I didn't know about. So one of the questions here is, why not branch to Namshi and its likes to expand the customer base? And the second part is relating to your ROI on marketing, if you can elaborate on that a bit.
Okay.
Is it use paid or CPC, etc.?
So I'll start with the first question. We could go over the second question again, the last part I didn't hear. So why not Namshi? Well, they've approached us and we've had discussions with them. Unfortunately, their terms are just a little hard for us. because they would be holding on to our stock and dictating the prices for us. And we also don't want to be known as a discount brand. And then we don't want to have another partner who is going to constantly put us on discount. And then not only is it going to affect our margins, but also it's going to affect the way the brand is positioned. We are featured on 6th Street, which is another online platform, which has Birkenstock, Calvin Klein, and all the big names. However, their strategy is not to heavily discount items, which is why we decided to go with them. In the future, we are looking at Namshi, we're looking at CV and other partnerships, but it really depends on the terms and if we get to dictate our price. And the second question was?
To elaborate on your ROI in terms of marketing, if you can elaborate, if it's user paid media or CPC, etc.
Okay, so our ROI on marketing is a combination of how much we spend on our influencers, as well as how much we spend on our Insta ads. So we haven't really done Google ads or any of those so far. We've touched a little bit on it, but we've seen a very high ROI on our Insta ads and on our influencers. So really that's what we have scaled up because it's very instant and that's what it's based on.
Would you mentioned you're going to move towards the inventory, having more inventory. So would that affect your maintaining your margins? Because currently you have low margins, but once you move into a production model, so how can you maintain that or increase your margins, as you mentioned?
Semi-production model right now. Most of our stock is produced by us. Obviously, some of the things, in order to fill the gaps, we get pre-produced items, and we do hold our own inventory. The only thing is, once we go in higher volumes, we have more negotiation room with our suppliers and our factories in order to get them to lower the price per piece. So on the contrary, our margin's actually going to grow as we increase our business.
Okay, thanks. Can you elaborate on any recent partnerships? You mentioned Shalhoub.
So we partnered up with Shalhoub Wear That. So it's styling boxes. So we are featured in their boxes where actually 13% of their revenue is our items. And we are also partnered up with 6th Street, which is apparel group. They're the ones who own Aldo, Birkenstock, and many other big brands. And we are also trending quite high on their website, and they actually like our product because they say we're one of the more premium priced products that are selling quite heavily.
Okay. Can you explain the sales canceled percentage or?
So the sales canceled percentage, basically we had a marketing activation through several influencers that we've done. And unfortunately, because we didn't have enough stock on hand, we had to cancel those sales and therefore lost money. So now going forward, one of the reasons why we are trying to raise funds is in order to have enough stock versus demand. And based on our experience and the data that we've gathered now, we know exactly how much we should be holding per every marketing activity.
So primarily it's lost sales due to unmet demand, basically. It's not sales cancels as in returns. Just to clarify that to our...
Basically we wanted it, but we just didn't have the stock on hand.
Yeah. Great, thanks a lot. And one more question in terms of expanding into the GCC. Would you look at KSA next year already, or what are like the shorter term plans for expansion into other markets within the GCC? You mentioned Kuwait and Qatar.
Well, we are in KSA. Actually, 80% of our business is KSA right now. And then we have the rest of it would probably be UAE, and we barely touched on Kuwait just because we haven't really spent any marketing towards Kuwait, and we really just kind of piggybacked off of some people hearing or from friends and family. So we've had a couple of orders there, but we haven't really established that region. Also, we're opening up to Qatar, which we also believe we have a lot of potential to. So that will be probably at the end of the month, our website will be open to Qatar.